Hello everyone, Georgia here, and I want to step that next step out of the full woo closet and tell you some more things that I've learned about myself, about my spiritual self recently. I want to start a little further back because I realize that there's a lot of synchronicities in my life, a lot of things that come around full circle that happened in the past, and now I'm like, whoa. So, how do I start this? The background is maybe a refresher on how I see who we are as humans. So I see us as souls having a human experience. We are actually eternal beings, and we are having a human experience on this planet. And when we die, our human experience ends, but we do not end. We continue. And we have more than just human experiences on Earth. We can have many, which is a lot to do with the stories behind reincarnation. But we can have experiences in other places, in other realms, in other planets. All of existence isn't just the Earth. That's quite a bit of hubris, actually, on humans' parts, to believe that we are the only life in all of existence. And because we can't measure it or can't find it or can't see it, that it doesn't exist. But the fact is, there is a heck ton that exists that we can't see with our eyes, smell with our nose, taste with our mouth, right? The only way that we can get to know how some of these other things exist is to reach out with our heart and our mind, because we have that sixth sense, even though that has been suppressed, even though we've been told don't believe that, or that's stupid, or you're crazy, or ha ha ha, that's hilarious. So I have said before in some of my other videos, but I want to also repeat it, is that this time on Earth is really special because we as humans are evolving. And we are evolving in a way that enables us to have more contact and more embodiment of our higher self, our oversoul. And our oversoul has all these little sparks that go out and have all these embodied or not embodied experiences. One of these sparks of me, of my oversoul, is a blue avian. And it's kind of out there in the UFO world, but a blue avian is, a bird being, humanoid, but more bird than human. And they are helping humanity at this time with humanity's embodiment or ascension process. This soul spark that is a blue avian has done something that's a little different, and I haven't really heard a lot about it, although I've heard a few individuals' experiences. My avian body is in stasis on a ship that is orbiting Earth. And the soul, the consciousness that is that being has been crammed into this body that is me. But to come to Earth, you have to follow the rules, and the rules involve dropping down to 3D, and being within a human body, and having the human experience, which means completely forgetting pretty much everything and starting from ground zero. And that's part of the whole experience. This avian volunteered herself to come at this time to help raise the overall light and vibration of the planet. And there are a number of beings like me in various forms and situations dotted around this planet in a way that creates a grid, a connective grid, so that we encompass the entire planet. This, I have had memories of being an avian being that are coming up now. And I know this to be true in the way that I know I love my children unconditionally. It's that kind of knowing. And I don't know how else to explain it. And I feel insane in some ways saying it. But I have some memories. There's one that's really clear right now, which is, I don't know what my whole body looks like. It's more of a feeling, right? Because unless you're looking in the mirror kind of thing, you're not looking at yourself. So I was looking down and I saw some feathers, and I see like bird legs with talons, and I could hear the clicking of talons on, it's like marble, like a polished marble floor. And I could hear the swish of what at first I thought was like a cape or something on the ground, but then I realized it was my tail. And I have hands, but not 5 fingers. And they're not really talon-like, but they're not quite hand-like, not human hand-like. And then I have feathers and wings attached to the upper part of my arms. And I get this feeling of columns, same materials of floor, columns, and I'm walking down this long area. It's not a hallway, it's I don't know what to call it. I can't quite call it a room because it's open to the sky. And sometimes I see people flying and other avians. And sometimes there's some around me. I can't quite see them. I just kind of sense them. But those sounds and that sensation, I can feel it in my body. And I had something else pretty mind-blowing happen just a couple days ago. Oh, I have to back up a bit. So I have been talking to 2 blue avian healers for many months now, before I knew I had any connection to them. And my higher self had told me many, many months ago that I had a body in stasis. But she didn't really give me a lot of information about it. It was just sort of talking about all the different soul sparks that are in existence. These 2 healing avians, they work in healing specifically. Like they are like what we would call our doctors, or nurses or healthcare practitioners. And I would go to them because I want to learn how to heal myself. I have a number of health issues that I'd rather not have, and many of them have, like, there's no cures for them. not on this earth. And so it's hard not to look for alternatives. So in searching for alternatives and learning my spiritual path, I wanted to see if I could learn how to help myself in some way. So, and I had been told that humans can reach out to blue avians and ask for help with healing. And it's a process. It's an active process of meditation and certain visualizations and calling them in for assistance, that kind of thing. So these two individuals have been helping me for some time. And then over time, with help from my higher self, I learned that they are responsible for looking after the blue avian body that's in stasis. That this was an agreement I had made before leaving my body and coming to Earth. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. When I had learned about this blue avian history, I realized that I wanted to learn more. I wanted to find out more. And so I asked if these two health practitioners would help me learn. And they said that wasn't their place, but that they could help find somebody who could. Fast forward to a couple days ago, and I was in a walking meditation. I was out walking with my dog, and my guides come to me a lot when I'm out walking in nature. And all of a sudden there was these two avian beings. I knew that they were avian because I get an overall sense of them, a feeling of feathers, of that kind of movement, a feeling of beaks, but also humanoid. And right away I knew who they were. And I was like, okay, Mom and Dad. I knew that they were my parents. I don't know how, I don't know why. I don't know how. And I just started bawling, like just in the middle of my walk, full out sobbing. And I knew that they were my parents, and I'm getting full body chills right now. And they were laughing, crying. And they said that I was right. And they called me their daughter, and that they have missed me so much. And they have been talking to me, answering some questions ever since. Most of them have been very, very personal and family questions so far, because this has been really blowing my mind. And when again, I can't explain this knowing. It's just a knowing again. I know that those two are my avian parents, like I know how much I deeply love my children. It's crazy. And the love that pours out from them is pretty mind-blowing. And the excitement that they feel. And I feel it all. I don't know how else to explain it. It's so freaking weird. So, yeah, that's my experience so far. To bring it back around, and I'll talk more about it as things reveal themselves more, but I've always loved birds ever since I was a kid. I've never been a birder. I've always wanted to own a bird, but birds live a long time, and I've never felt that I would know for sure I could give them the long-term good life they need. Birds are very, very sensitive. And they need very special care, and I just never felt super confident. But bird artwork, bird artwork. I have bird tattoos. I have a tattoo of a bird on my shoulder that I've got many years ago, and on my shoulder written above that goes with this tattoo is "We are who we are." Right? Like dyeing my hair and stuff, that happened before I knew of my connection with blue avians. I had connection with the blue avian healers, but I was like, hey, I dyed my hair blue. What do you think? They liked it. Although I don't think they're the type to ever say otherwise. Yeah, I've just... birdsong, I mean, I think there's something about birdsong for humanity. Like there is something psychological there. Birds singing means safety. It means that there's no danger around. If things are really quiet, something's happening. But birdsong has always just brought me such peace in my heart. And we have a lot of birds. We have a lot of birds around our backyard. A lot of different birds come visit. Even have pheasants showing up out of nowhere. I had a duck show up recently. I mean, we have lakes and stuff around, but ducks don't show up in neighborhoods. And this one, when it suddenly appeared and it looked confused, like, why? How did I? And she ended up coming up to me and like quacking and talking at me, and we like it was crazy. I went inside because I was like, do I need to call Hope for Wildlife? Like, what do I do with this duck who seems kind of lost and startled? And when I went inside, she flew away. I got telepathically from her that she was visiting and her name was Lucy. Ugh, this is so weird. Yeah, I've had a lot of odd bird experiences. Nothing's coming to mind anymore is coming to mind right now. But yeah. So there's that. I believe that there are a lot of beings that are not of Earth that have a long history with humanity, of helping humanity. Again, I know not all ETs are awesome, but I know my sense well enough to trust it. And if you want to talk to ETs but are unsure or uncomfortable, you can make sure that if you are contacting them, you say, I only wish to have those speak to me that have my highest good in mind and my highest well-being. And I often add, and all of humanity's highest well-being in mind. And if you don't, you can vamoose. Because I've had some really weird, not great interactions with some ETs. And as soon as I realize that they don't have my highest good in mind, if they're neutral, I'll talk to them. I'm just more careful. And I have ETs come and just ask me questions about humanity, just like what it's like being human and stuff. But if you're unsure, sort of do that kind of protection saying, prayer, ritual, whatever you want to call it. It works. You can also call in angels to help you. And of course, if you're in contact with your higher self, ask your higher self. And they will help you determine if this being is of the highest good or not. And go from there. So I know that these beings that I have been speaking to all have not only my highest good in mind, but humanity's as well, and have deep love and reverence for humanity despite our flaws. And they have a lot of hope for us. So hopefully over time, I can learn more about blue avians and maybe share it with the greater community. Okay. I really appreciate you guys listening to me mumble on. There's so much magic out there. Oh, I'm going to be on Stephanie's podcast, Stephanie McNeil's podcast again on this Friday. And we're going to talk about all this stuff. And share our experiences and our ideas, and hopefully keep working on building a greater and greater community of support for everyone. So thank you for sharing your energy with me in this moment. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have the wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.